Nowadays, it seems like every manufacturer is trying to get a piece of that keyboard pie. They're everywhere, there, and here, like the Beach Boys song. But there's only a few that stand out, and out of those, there's even fewer that stand the test of time. There's only one keyboard in my mind that fits that criteria. That is the Logitech G15 keyboard. Hello everyone, the Duke here, and today I'm going to be telling you about why the Logitech G15 is the best keyboard ever created. Now, the Logitech G15 keyboard is a bit of an old one. I believe the original model of the Logitech G15 was released in 2006, and while I'm not sure about when this copy that I have was, I know that I bought it February 1st, 2013 for $103.78. Actually, I think it was a birthday gift, but regardless, it has been a fantastic keyboard. I bought the Razer Death Adder around the same time, but alas, it is not here, yet this keyboard is standing and still working just fine. Not a key has failed, and any issues that I thought it had were merely my own ineptitude, as I didn't realize all the features it has until, well, a few years ago. Now, let's get into the layout of the keyboard. It's a full size, which means it has a numpad, and of course, no numpad, no opinion. You've got a set of G keys on the left side, 6 of them, although you can actually have up to 18 via these 3 or 4 buttons, the M1 through MR buttons, that allow you to toggle different modes. As well as that, you may have noticed that there's a little orange thing right on top of the keyboard. That is the display, and that is why this keyboard is the best one ever. You see, first of all, you've got the main menu, which is your clock. You know, it tells you the time, the date, blah, blah, blah. Nothing that complicated. The next one allows you to set gaming profiles, so that way, you know, when you play Battlefield 4, Ghost Recon Wildlands, or something like that, you can automatically set those to just automatically play. I don't really use that feature, so I don't know that much about it, but please take my word for it or else. Then you go to the next menu and you got a countdown timer and a stopwatch, which is perfect when you're cooking something and you need to play a game, but you also need to have a timer on because, I mean, that's freaking epic. Of course, then is the best feature ever, which, well, is now a was. It's no longer updated, which pains me. But this keyboard allowed you to read the news on the keyboard. Is that not the coolest quirk and feature, thank you Daddy Doug, that ever existed? I mean, who has time to go to Yahoo News or whatever? You can see the headlines on your keyboard. I actually really loved using this, but I feel like it was just me and 5 other people that were using it, and that's why they discontinued it. But my gosh, is that the coolest quirk ever? I mean, let's talk about my 1990 Cadillac DeVille because it's completely related to this video. You see, when you turn on the lights on this car, your headlights, a little bitty yellow light comes on the hood. Then when you turn on your blinker, it's a little red light. I didn't get footage of that because I'm lazy, but then when you turn on your high beams, a little green icon comes on. Why do you need this? You can see it on your dash, and of course when you're driving at night, who knows, but it's cool. Same when you press the brake, you can see 2 little red lights come on the back right above the window. Then you put on your blinker and one will blink to the left or right depending on what you're doing. And of course you might ask yourself, why do these little quirks and features exist? They add really nothing, but that's where you're wrong, they do. Now, quirks and features cannot hold a product all on its own, but with a solid built product that has lots of quirks and features, you have an all-time star that will last for generations even after it's passed. Now, I may have gone off on a bit of a tangent, but around the display are a very well laid out set of buttons. You've got your volume up and down, your play and pause button, stop, and then your forward and then back button. I mean, I like the way these are laid out because a lot of keyboards now, they have these weird rounded buttons and they just don't feel that good. These have a nice clicky feel to them, and also, I mean, I don't know if this is really a feature, but they communicate directly with the Windows volume, which is something I absolutely love. Also, you've got, of course, your mute button, which is very fun to press if you can hear that. You've also got one that you can turn off your lights, and then another button which it's a lever which you turn to left and right. It feels really good, but I have no idea what it does. Similarly, it has 2 USBs in the back, which I don't know why they've never worked. Yeah, I never used them either. Now, of course, you might say, well, the keyboard's not RGB, and well, you see, the warm amber glow of the keyboard reminisces of a time that, well, no longer exists, and also it brings back that comforting feeling of driving home with the glow of the check engine light shining on your face. It's been 8 years since I got this keyboard and it's still going strong. It's very comfortable. I love the way the keys are laid out. They're not too tall and not too ingested is the word into the plastic frame. You also have this little black plastic molded part for your wrists, which you can remove, but why would you do that? I mean, what are you, some kind of monster? Also, you can route cables underneath the keyboard and they can come out like right underneath where the G15 is, right on the front of the keyboard. So you could have your headphones come out, which is pretty gnarly. But anyway, I am just super happy with this keyboard. And you might be thinking, well, I looked on Amazon and the only ones they have are either out of stock or they're like $125. And well, have you looked at eBay? Now, there aren't as many as I'd like, but there's a sufficient amount between, I'd say, the 30 at the smallest to $80, or this one's $400. But I mean, if you were looking for one, I'm sure you'd be able to find one for a fairly decent price, especially compared to newer high-end keyboards. It's a great keyboard. I love the way they are. I mean, yeah, I can't display the news anymore, which is a big downside, I will say. But I guess one thing I really like about this keyboard and talking about it is the display. And I'm kind of disappointed that there aren't really that many keyboards with displays anymore. I mean, I think there's EVGA that has a few that you can actually buy new, but I've always heard mixed things about EVGAs, like, well, peripherals. I think they make good power supplies and graphics cards, but otherwise I'd shy away. Regardless, the Logitech G15, in my mind, will always be the king of keyboards, and I'll probably just buy another one once this one perishes, which I don't expect it to anytime soon, and when it does, I will commemorate it in a glass display case above my wall. Or computer, on my wall, that's the wording. Regardless, I wanted to share with you my love and affection for the Logitech G15 in the hopes that you may be infected by it and want to get one for yourself. Well, this has been the Duke, and I hope you've enjoyed this video, and now I'm signing off.